What is up, guys? So hopefully the wind noise is not too bad. We're back on the track today, and today I am with my trusty GSXR 600. So those of you who are not new to the channel would remember this bike. So it's an 05 GSXR 600, pretty much stock other than a Yoshimura slip-on, but what's more interesting is that I went ahead and I installed a Speeduino Standalone ECU on that bike about a year ago. Since then it's just been undercover. I haven't really done much to it. So I am now taking it back onto the track. Let's see if we can get some good times out of it. Alright, so this video I actually tried recording a bunch of times. Thing about it is that you just cannot get good camera angles on a bike. So I did make some progress on the bike. So bone stock, this bike ran I think an 11.9 at 116, 11.9 or 11.8, sorry. And what I did with the Speeduino and just one of my bass tunes, I pretty much got the same exact time as the factory ECU. So we're at least doing something good. So since then I'll go ahead and put up those slips now. So it's and then I run this with the Speeduino ECU. So as you can see, almost identical performance. So we're at least doing something good. So now the thing is, I cleaned up the bike's tune, that is. I installed a wideband right here, the EM wideband, and I also installed a camera mount. Hopefully this camera position will give you guys some good shots of the action today. If I wheelie, you guys will see it. I will see it as well. So the plan today is to see if we can better the time. We have a 7.52, I think at 96 in the if. I'm trying to better that. My goal for the bike is like a bottom 7.30 in the if, which would give me like a 10.99 in the quarter. I'm doing a 10.99 with nothing but a Speeduino ECU. So we're here today. The map is a little bit cleaned. I'll also be logging, so I'll clean it up when I get back home. But let's see how we do today. Well, that was an eventful ride. So at the end of that pass, in case you saw or heard it in the video, here's what happened. At just before or just after the quarter mile, I cannot recall, it was somewhere very close to the quarter mile, I felt something hit my foot. I immediately felt like maybe I popped the chain or something, but this is what happened. So apparently we were going so fast that the wind ripped off the fairings on the bike. This end is damaged, this end is cracked from where it tried to separate. But realistically, what I suspect happened was, I think maybe one or two of the fasteners rattled out, so that now gave the wind some area to go in and then just rip out the fairing. So not too bad. One side is just cracked, a little piece broke off. I need to go back down this side to see if I get this little piece for the back of here, but for the most part damage is minimal. So obviously the plastic has to be repaired. I'm not sure if at that point it'll obviously need to be resprayed because it'll look ugly. White bike with plastic repair look like a panda. So I am not sure if that opens up another thing. Do we now change the color of the bike? Do we leave it white, just give it a fresh coat of paint? I don't know, but waiting on Mike to get here. I need one Allen key to take off this hanging piece, and then when that piece is taken off, I may do a couple of rides with just the bike naked and call it a day. But we'll see how the day goes. But so far we're blowing fairings off, right? Blowing fairings off. Alright, so just about editing this video and I realized that a lot of the camera angles were not good. The zoom was a little bit too focused, so I'm back home. Hopefully you guys get a good view of it. So again, this is our normal view, right? So I ended up finishing up the day with me doing a couple passes. So let me just show you the bike first before it gets any darker. So the fairing was completely ripped off, as you guys saw. So I ended up finishing the day with a couple passes. I think I still ended up better in my best time. I did a 11.6, I believe, at 11.6 at 121, I think it was, thereabouts. So definitely picked up some horsepower with that. So when you saw from the last clip, what happened was Mike ended up taking a bit longer than I wanted to, so I just pulled out pliers which I had in my bag, and I undid some of the fasteners that were on the bike, and then I took a couple of runs, and all in all went well. The early part of the video, I think I'll edit in somewhere, but the launches were a little bit slower than I would have liked. I was trying to experiment with launch control, but for the most part it was windy. Not windy, but it was a bit slower than I would have liked. That's why you see the bike bogging. So now the bike is home, safe and sound. About to finish editing this video. Hopefully I can put it out in a couple of minutes. And next step is to get the fairings repaired, and from there I will probably take it back onto the track, sometime next week, depending on how quick I get the repairs done. And we're going to try to gun for something in the bottom 11. It's looking like the bike needs to be dyno tuned or something, because it's very difficult to gauge the small horsepower gains that a 600cc bike gains. You're looking at picking up 1 horsepower here or there, so it's very difficult to do on the street. Not impossible, but just a bit more difficult. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, I apologize for the poor camera angles. Had a lot going on. My finger I must have fat fingered something and then messed up the zoom. Didn't really notice it until I went to edit the video today. Again, so I'm gonna pick up, I don't know, sometime next week with some new projects.